What's going on? This is your boy, Mr. Luke Evan Brooks, coming to you again. I hope that everyone's doing well. I am Luke Brooks, okay? Luke Brooks, Passive Central, or Passive Income Central. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not drunk. I wanted to talk to you for a second. So, for the ones that are catching this on Facebook and the ones that's catching on YouTube, I'm here. And I'm just going to talk to you about driven to success. Now, a lot of you, before we start, you may be trying to figure out how do you get your business off the ground, how you want to get all the things that you need to do to get yourself to the next level using social media, using particularly Facebook. Well, I have a course absolutely free, A to Z, that can get you to where you need to go to and get you on the right path for success, right? Whether it's just to increase whatever you have going on with your products and services, or just to get your feet wet onto Facebook, using it organically to get your leads. You need to check it out. Go ahead. If you're on Facebook, go to the banner in my profile. If you're on YouTube, go down to the description below. And please do not forget to subscribe. So let's get right to it. Let's get it cracking. So, driven to success. I say that because a lot of us are driven by motivation, right? A lot of us may be like, hey, I gotta be motivated. And I tell you, motivation is not gonna be the way to get you across that finish line. You're gonna have to have discipline, but you gotta be driven to success. Not driven for success, but driven to success. So imagine you're driving a car and your destination is success. You're gonna get there. Just like when I crossed the country, I went all the way from California to North Carolina, and my mom was just like, hey, that's crazy. And a lot of people, that's crazy, I wouldn't do it. And I said, why not? It wasn't that bad. It wasn't like I was driving one day solid, no sleep. No, it wasn't no rush. The thing is that you have to pace yourself. I learned that playing sports. I was running the gym, doing laps for basketball. And hey, Lisa. The thing is that I had to make sure that I paced myself. I didn't understand what that meant until I got tired. And pacing yourself is that you know when to put on the gas and you know when to ease off. You're not really hitting the brake, but you're easing off, just like you're driving in the car and you got traffic ahead. Instead of you tapping the brake, you just ease off, right? Just a little bit. We have to have the same thing when it comes to our success. We have to be able to go forward. We have to be able to look at what we need to put as our priorities. A lot of us just do things off the whim. We just live day to day. We don't have no planning. We don't sit down and plan. Now, I don't know if that's just some people. I'm not going to say that's military, because you have people in military who don't plan. They just do stuff day to day, and they try to say it's planning. It's not planning. Planning is that you're looking down on a long-range schedule of what you want. And your long-range schedule is maybe your 10-year or 15-year, 20-year plan of what you want to do. Your short range is just like your month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it may be, up to 6 months, right? However you want to do it. But you really need to break down that calendar. You need to break down what the things that you're trying to hit. Not saying this is goals. I'm saying you already got the goals. You're putting the deadlines on. Now you're looking at a chart to say, okay, this is where we need to be at this particular part for this goal. And you just dissect it just like that. And you just got to be driven. You have to be where you can't have anyone interrupt you. You can't have it where people are sitting there bugging you, trying, hey, let's go out to the club, let's go do this, let's go do this. And no, I got to get this going. And people might think you being weird or arrogant or whatever. It's not that you're being arrogant. You just know that if you sacrifice what you're doing right now to get yourself better for, again, instant gratification, instant, I would say, pleasure, instant reward, or not reward, but instant pleasure versus the long-term pleasure that you can have, you're going to be mad at yourself. And I see that happen all the time. And it happens to me too. Some of y'all might call it procrastination, but you got to have what's going to make you happy. And I think a lot of people are doped up on drugs, not happy with their jobs, not happy with where they at in life because they have given up the steering wheel and let someone drive for them. And they're driving them off on a cliff, unfortunately. And it's not good. And I don't want no one to feel like that. I want you to go after. I don't care if you're from the United States or you're in another country around the world. You should be able to go after the things that you want and not let anyone stop you from having it. I tell people that, through my times growing up and stuff, there was ups and downs and whatnot. But, I knew my mind I was going to go to college. I knew my mind I was going to join the military. I knew my mind that I was going to be independent. And these things have happened, right? I'm not telling you to just sit there and walk off the football field. I'm giving allegory here. Walking off the field, sitting there like, oh well, I quit. No, have a game plan. Have a game plan. Okay, if I'm working this job, do I want to carry this on as a business for myself? Let me learn how they do stuff or whatever. Or it's like I'm just using this job to accumulate some money so I can start creating investments. And that's what people do. Instead of us using our paycheck to just consume, we should be using that money, some of it anyway, to invest it back in ourselves. Whether it's education, or it's to buy equipment, or buying whatever it needs to be for your service or your product and produce more money with it. Imagine if it was a farm. You're not going to harvest everything at once, or you're going to consume everything. Which you're going to have some of the stuff that you need, like seeds and stuff, to go back into the ground for the next harvest or whatever. Some of us is just harvesting everything and not doing the right thing as far as having enough seeds to keep growing our crop. And we're at this point now, and people are hyperinflation. Now you hearing this from the people who are working every day. Oh, it costs too much. It costs too much. Blah 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 blah. Of course, it's costing too much. Everyone wants raises now, so they say, okay, you want raises? We'll bump up everything else. Everything's going up, and I already talked about this. But the thing that you can do to adjust for pay rate, you can go talk to your boss for military. It don't work that way. You have to get good performance reviews, whatever you got to do to get it, but it comes years. Instead of waiting on that time, you could take the opportunity to use the money that you have, or use other people's money, more importantly, and be able to get the things that you want to have set in place, either running on a passive system or semi-passive, and then it makes that money that you was always wanting to have. You can create your own pay raise. And I'm telling you guys, it is a sweet sensation. It's a sweet sensation when it comes to growing a business that way. Because once you get it set up, and that's probably the hardest thing, once you set it up and get everything going for it, you, at the end of the day, it's just like, okay, as long as I keep everything up and going, I'm good. I don't have to start from the ground up. And once you get them going, it's going to be like every day. It's just like if you work at McDonald's your first day. You may not know how to flip the burger or whatever, but then come the end of the week, you flipping them blindfolded, you flipping them, out looking at the stove, whatever it may be. And I know that sensation, I know the sensation. It can be scary, it can be nervousing, or whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, you have to keep driving down that road to success. And maybe that road, it's not going to be a straight road. Maybe you got to take detours, but you got to get there. And you can't sit there. I see some of the people that I know that be like, oh, I'm just waiting. Waiting on what? What are you waiting on? Are you waiting on the pearly gates to open and be like, hey, we're waiting on you to take action? Because if you're doing that, you're just procrastinating. That's what that's called, procrastination. You're all right. It was a line in the Matrix Revolutions, or not Revolutions, but Resurrection, where they talked about people being in the Matrix, more people being stuck in the Matrix because they choose to not give up what they're doing right now, even though it's painful, even though it's mediocre. They rather just deal with it that way versus to go into the unknown where it may be greater on the other side. They rather be plugged in, saying, hey, I know what this outcome is day in, day out, than to go somewhere where I don't know what it is the next day, even though it's probably better than what I'm doing, even though I don't like this. And people are like that. That was a message in that movie. I said, that's how the world is. You have a majority of people say, I'd rather just deal with a boss that gets on my nerves. At least I get a check. I don't like this job. I can't see myself doing it. I tell people, I couldn't do it. I could not. Once I get out the military, I can't see myself working for someone, because I know all the stuff I know now, and I'm making it happen while everything's running in the background while I'm doing my job for the nation. That's amazing. So imagine what happens when I come out. I'm telling you guys, if you're sitting here and you playing games with yourself, that's what it is. You're playing games with yourself. When you start seeing people like me and other people who are just growing a product out there, they're doing a thing. They're not tuning in their face. We're not tuning in your face. I'm not sitting here showing you a paycheck or whatever. I don't do people like that. But they show you the back office. You may say it's a scam. It's not a scam. It's not a scam. And they show you the step-by-step system. You have to ask yourself, what the hell was you thinking at the end of the day? So guys, let's get real. Let's get smarter in our head. Let's make this thing happen. I hope that you understand where I'm coming from. There's more to follow. This is 2022. This is our year, and we're going to change the world. So I hope that you understand what's going on. Again, thank you again. Tuning in. You like what I'm talking about? Go ahead and give me some thumbs ups and comment down below. Let me know what you think about how you can change your life. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Take care.